Hey, what's up everybody? Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. I hope all of you are doing well out there. I got another throwback review for you guys today, and this one, we're going to go back to the summer of 1994 to discuss James Cameron's True Lies, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is the story of a man that leads a double life, one as a boring computer salesman and the other as a secret agent for the Omega Sector, two lives that are going to collide when he must stop a group of terrorists from smuggling nuclear warheads into the country. So let's get into this classic. Now, these days in theaters, we're accustomed to the massive blockbuster comic book and tentpole films, but in the summer of 1994, there was no bigger movie than this one. True Lies was the first $100 million produced movie. It would go on to gross $378 million worldwide. It was positively received from critics at the time as well. The movie would go on to be the third highest grossing film of the year, behind Forrest Gump and The Lion King, and it would unknowingly be the last massive blockbuster hit for Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what I think makes this movie so much fun is the atmosphere and the storytelling. The setting is just a hyper-realistic world that felt like a nice blend of real life and comic book charm. It's like watching Arnold as James Bond in a semi-serious storyline that has one focus, that being to create an over-the-top adventure. And sure, it's a bit dated with some of the character types and some of the humor in places, but all of the characters were embellished to the near point of being satirical. So I think taking the subject matter as anything other than harmless fun is a bit of a stretch. Overall, the movie has just a great balance of all the moving pieces that equate to a highly comical thrill ride in the world of spies and espionage. The writing infuses the characters with a variety of personality types. The dialogue weaves storytelling and tongue-in-cheek humor like they were meant to be together. The storyline really hits all the tropes of the spy world, and it serves as the perfect vehicle for a collection of great action sequences. And topping it off is just the smooth direction from James Cameron and a musical score from Brad Fiedel that elevates the suspense and creates a ton of charm and atmosphere for the movie on its own.
Come on!
I think the cast was fantastic. Everybody really thrived in their roles. Arnold was every bit the just larger-than-life action star that you could ask for. He was able to weave his surprisingly competent comedic chops in with his action hero persona nicely, and the duality of the character was surprisingly amusing. I thought it was fun to see him turn off his tough man presence on a dime and shift to that boring family man, and I definitely think the chemistry between the actors is what made the most out of some already charming character dynamics. I thought Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold had a fantastic, just nicely timed chemistry with one another. Their back and forths were naturally humorous. It really made them feel like the old partners they were supposed to be. Arnold was the much more reserved one. Tom was the lighthearted, wisecracking jokester, and I thought just their banter was really the best part of this movie. Yet Arnold also had a fantastic chemistry with Jamie Lee Curtis as well that made their dynamic very appealing and believable, which sold them as being that lasting, normal married couple that they were. And there's no doubt that Jamie Lee Curtis made their on-screen relationship thrive, because I thought she was the shining light of the movie. She just, I thought, delivered a textbook performance as the bored wife that wants more excitement. She hit the comedic timing perfectly. She nailed the dramatic elements with pure sincerity, and she served up a performance that made her just a lovable character and a true co-star to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Maybe you should give me your tell. So, we meet again, Carlos.
Honey, I'm just gonna do him right here, okay?
Go for it.
I thought Tia Carrere was charming and charismatic as the over-embellished villain. She brought a true energy and presence to the role that showed she understood the tone that the filmmakers wanted from this story. She was very animated, very fiery, and she created a villain that you kind of loved but couldn't wait to see get it in the end just because of her arrogance alone. Which leads us to who I consider to be one of the all-time great supporting characters ever in film, that being Simon, the sleazy used car salesman played magnificently by the late Bill Paxton. His entire arc in this movie, as short as it may have been, is nothing short of comedic gold. I thought he stole the screen with every one of his scenes, and as the counter to Arnold's character, it was just placed perfectly among all the other elements in this storyline to just infuse it with even more humor. Another area True Lies really succeeds in is the ability to switch between suspenseful action and comedic charm on a dime. Even during the most intense moments in the story, the humor would hit, and surprisingly, it never undercut the action, but only heightened the overall experience in the mood of which you're watching. It's a story about a group of terrorists trying to smuggle warheads into the country. One second, a nuclear warhead is going off on the Florida coastline, then the next minute, Arnold is running to a fighter jet like a kid going out to play with his friends before clumsily smashing a bunch of cop cars and flying off to save the day.
We might want to seek shelter!
Sorry.
All you can really say is that this movie had a personality of its own. The opening scene in Switzerland with skiers touting machine guns truly sets the stage for what you're in for. The action set pieces are filled with a lot of practical effects that I think still hold up great today. It's really hard to pick which sequence is the best because I think they're all able to leave an impact on the movie. Arnold's shooting up and destroying a bathroom, he's riding all over town on a horse, he's breaking necks, he's shooting flamethrowers, and he caps it off with an amazingly over-the-top climax in a fighter jet over the city. The action really gives you a full range of it all, and it still manages to fit into an entertaining journey that is as serious as it is comical. And when you put it all together, this movie was like a comic book movie without the comic book. It's still an enjoyable watch today. The visual appeal holds up nicely. It surpasses many other movies from its era, and True Lies is going to get 95% on the meter. It knew exactly what it wanted to be. It succeeded in doing so. It wasn't trying to be serious like a Jason Bourne or a Mission Impossible. It wanted to be its own thing with cartoonish characters and an end-of-the-world ramifications where the good guy's always going to win and win while dispensing some charming one-liners along the way. So if you haven't seen this movie, give it a shot, and even if you have already, just go back and revisit this classic gem from the 90s because you're going to have a good time doing so. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.